Didn't you get roofied once? That was, I was supposed to say that was my fault. Okay. So that was not my fault. But I knowingly knew that bar had a chance of that happening. And I thought, nah, it wouldn't happen to me. Because it was like a super sketchy bar. And even now, and like I said in the video, in Shinjuku, there's, they've put up speakers now saying like, I thought like, nah, I'd win. Honestly, I thought, nah, I'd win. There has to be some partial blame on me. There are not many areas in Japan where you will have an unsafe experience, and pretty much the only place is those foreign bars where you get touts outside trying to get you in. If there's a tout, like I'll never go into a bar if a guy's trying to tout me to come in, especially after that. But if I meet a Japanese guy who's nice and we're chatting and you know, it's been a while and he's like, yeah, I got a spot, I'll be like, all right, sure. He seems kind of chill. It's kind of frustrating because talking about it, it's very tough because without people getting very sensitive about like racially profiling people. There's a lot of these like really unfortunate, like sketchy bars where they do this are run by like Senegalese and Nigerian dudes. But I think they're mainly Senegalese. And so it's like, how do you have this conversation without being like, yeah, don't go in there. Yeah, it's like, I'm not trying to be, like the motivation for me telling you not to go in those bars is not because they are of a certain race. It's because those types of bars are very dangerous. And they'll only approach foreign dudes. You can see, it's unfortunate. They don't approach Japanese dudes. It's only foreign dudes. So if you're white or you look like you're not Japanese, they'll follow you. From my understanding, right, and this could be incorrect, but asking of Japanese people and other bar owners in Golden Guy, because I was fascinated by this. I wanted to know how this was allowed to exist, right? Because they're not supposed to be allowed to touting people. They shouldn't even be like doing this, and the way they're doing it is very aggressive, and the bars are very illegal a lot of the time. So I was wondering how can this be? Because, you know, Japan would normally crack down on this stuff. I don't know how true this guy is, but the guy I asked this one owner, and then I asked another owner about this to see if he corroborate the story. And apparently a lot of these dudes would come over on like the Yakuza would bring dudes over from like third world countries, and apparently they would get them marriage visas. So they would arrange for someone for them to marry, bring them over, and then they would run these sketchy bars that would do all these scams and bring in all the money. And if somebody were to get arrested, well, at least it's not a Japanese guy. You know what I mean? I think that was the main thinking of apparently the business model from my understanding. That's what I was explained to. I could be completely off, but that's what a bar owner told me. Someone said, oh, that's pretty smart. Oh god, we got Walter White in the chat. No, Fall Guys. Well, it's because, you know, the Yakuza is shrinking. You know, Japanese government is trying to crack down on them as much as possible, and I think that for their business to survive, they can't have people being arrested who are crucial to the business. I think that like every developed economy, what do you do when you need more workers? Bring in the immigrants. Get them to do the lower jobs. The American classic, the British classic, the Japanese classic. Kind of snitching. Yeah. But again, this is like because I didn't know how because it doesn't make sense, right? Why these guys could operate so openly in Japan. And that was the only reasoning that I heard from one guy. So I don't know if that's true. I feel like there's more to it than that. That feels too simple. Feels like there would be an easy way to crack down on that if that was the case.